It is Monday, June 16th. That means there are 10 days until I turn 35. And I cannot believe that I am here today. Right now, I'm so grateful for life, number one. Number two, I do not feel old. I feel like if anything, I am in my prime. There's definitely things I want to change, like my eating habits and my physique. But overall, I feel grateful. I feel that I am where I need to be. And a few years back, I remember feeling like I was behind everybody and like I was not accomplishing as much as I should have. And now I feel that I'm, if anything, a little more advanced than I thought I would be. And not comparing myself, but if I were to compare myself with some peers, I would say that I'm in a really, really great spot. I mean, not Ivy League graduate or anything, managing a law firm or anything like that, but I think that we're a doctor, but I think that I'm doing really well for myself. I love my job. I love that I have my children, and my children are in a really good age range. Wyatt is 7, he'll be 8 in September. Olivia will be 11 in September. Max will be 13 in December. I cannot believe that. Crazy to me. And so I have a lot more liberty now. I have way better of an income than I did just a few years ago. So I feel very, very comfortable and grateful, like deeply grateful. At the same time, there's this heaviness like in my heart right now, because I feel like prices are like skyrocketing right now. Food is really expensive, and not everybody is winning per se, like just across around the world. And so when I listen to news like today, bad idea to listen to news, because I was just like dragged. I felt distracted. I tend to feel just a heavy weight when I listen to news, and I've been doing a pretty good job kind of encapsulating myself into work and home and things that, we had a great weekend and I really enjoy life. But anytime that I watch the news, and part of my job, like I have to keep up with what's going on, so I do, and then boom, 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 I feel this heaviness. The whole thing with Gaza, seeing kids blown up, Israel, just, I have Jewish friends, so I don't want to talk negatively, but their prime minister is just, man, it's a piece of work. And anyway, what else? Just people around the world having a really hard time just keep staying afloat. And the way that I manage that is by, number one, I try to limit how much information I take on, but number two, I try to assist where I can. And I do believe in not telling your left hand what your right hand is doing, so I don't want to go into details, but I do accord in some way to causes or individuals that are going through situations that are dire and they need a little breathing. So I do contribute in that way. Right now, for me, the easiest way to do that is financially, and I'm happy to do so. I may not be a millionaire or have like a ton of disposable income, but I definitely am pretty blessed and happy to share my blessings. I feel that's community, and community can just be your community, right? Like physical community where you are, but it also can be the friends and family that you have around the world. So I try to support my community, my support system in any way that I can. So that makes me feel great. And I did this weekend, and like I've actually been doing it for quite a bit now. I'm like, whoa, I cannot believe that I'm in that position to be able to do that. Again, it's not like I'm sending or giving away $100,000, but it's significant enough that, you know, at one point I remember like struggling to get to a certain, you know, amount a week just to like buy groceries or pay the rent or whatever it was at the time. And now to be in a position where I have an overflow, it's just such a nice, like, if you are in that position, you know, figure out how to allocate for people who have less than you, and it's gonna make you feel so great. Not because you're like, oh, I'm the superhero. No, it's not about that. It is knowing that you can contribute to a better future, that you can give hope to someone, to say, man, God is listening to my prayers, things are gonna get better. It's a little bit of hope that just keeps you motivated in life. And people have done it for me, not always financially, you know. I think I'm like one of those individuals that this is not great, I wouldn't recommend. I do not ask and do not beg and do not, like, I would have to be in some serious trouble to ask for money. And my ego is just like high. Like, I'm like, no, somebody else needs it more than me. But that is also not a good way to be. There's times where, and I had to learn this the hard way, because somebody had to talk with me, like, hey, do not block God's blessings, right? So if I'm able to be of use and be put in a situation where I can bless others, I will. And also I learned that if God wants to bless me, I'm going to allow it. And I feel like he's blessed me beyond measure, just in opportunities, people, and I'm just grateful. Like, I really am so grateful. And I'll continue to pass it, you know, on. Wow, there's traffic. I'm on the way to the chiropractor. I don't know how many more sessions I have, but I did pay for like a bonus package of sorts. And I'm feeling so much better. My back used to hurt a lot. Honestly, I forgot that sitting down for long periods of time is just not great for your back. And my sciatica is just about completely reversed. I know that's not true, because I do feel it if I sit down for a long period of time, but I think it has motivated me to make some changes, just to not overdo it and take care of myself. Now is the weight issue, because now it's becoming a little harder to keep weight off of me, especially in the midsection. And it just, I'm not gonna lie, it just bogs me down. I hate to feel like I'm 8 months pregnant. So I'm gonna do something about it. And I'm going to refocus on going to the gym, not getting distracted, just stay in the gym, stay moving, stay motivated, in that just everyday health. So that requires for me to go to sleep a little earlier, which I have been slacking on because it's summer and days are long. But tonight I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna go to sleep early. I do have to stay up to do one thing to make sure these individuals have work, but I'm also not going to be killing myself and overdoing it. Sometimes I think I'm a bit of a control freak and a perfectionist. I have my times where I may be super hands off. Other times where I'm like, halfway in there. If I trust that so and so is going to do a really good job. Today I'm trying to just be on top of it, because I have a few people. I had a couple of people out of office, so tonight I'm just going to put it together, be very specific about what I need, put somebody in charge of overseeing this, and then I'm good to go. Like, we should be good to go. What else? Kids are doing really well. You know, I never push my kids to do anything in particular. I always feel like every human being in this world has a strength, and you should lean on your strengths. And if you have a weakness, yeah, it's important to like try to help yourself just get better at whatever it is that you struggle with, but don't, you know, also don't like beat yourself up about not being great at something. lean on your strengths. What are you good at? So with that in mind, with my kids, I just kind of observe and see where they fit, like what are their strengths. And so it doesn't matter what I do for a living or Ryan does for a living, what my interests are, or that sometimes I do bullshit a little bit. I push them out of their comfort zone. I make them do things that they wouldn't think to do on their own because I want opportunities for them. But for the most part, I'm pretty laid back. And then Wyatt started showing a lot of interest in music, or he's just more like musically inclined, I would say, than the rest of my kids. And so now he's taking piano and he really loves it, and I love that for him, you know, like he's practicing, which is really awesome. I would love to pick it up again. Ryan got these stickers for the keys. I'm like, man, this beats up your memory, what's the memory? I wish I had those back then. It's really great. And I was kind of shocked. I thought piano lessons would be a lot more expensive a month, but maybe back when I looked into it, it was way out of my budget. And now it's like, oh, I can do this. It's not bad. So definitely want to continue to support that and help him out with that. Maxie is like me, so much like me. We did rowing classes. I mean, camp. That was expensive, way more expensive than piano. And he didn't want to do a week 2, so I didn't push it, but I'm glad that he tried it at the very least. Olivia, I need to put her in something else aside from softball. I don't know if I want to do a camp. Maybe I'll do one. We're going out of town next week. We're going to go visit Uncle Al. So we're going to be in New Jersey, and we're going to go to the Jersey Shore. So that's going to be really fun. And then July, I'm just going to be hustling. I want to start thinking about remodeling the kitchen. We've been putting this off for so many years, and I'm literally at the point where we need to do something. I need storage. I need it to be functional. I've already done the pre-work of finding out X, Y, and Z. We've done a lot of work in terms of other things that needed to be updated in the house. And it's just so nice, like, to see the progress. To me, progress, focus on progress, not, oh, I'm still here. I remember when I was in an apartment, I really wanted to make sure that I bought a house before age 30, and I did. But I remember I would put so much pressure on myself because I was like, I don't want a house. Everybody around me has a house. All my friends had houses before 30, and very nice homes, like things that I was like, could I afford that? And even if I could, I don't know if I would want such big homes. Maybe I would. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I used to feel like I was super behind. So if you've ever felt like that, or if you're feeling like that right now, I'm here to be of encouragement, to remind you that you are in your own path. And if you really desire something, put pen to paper, put it as a goal, work towards it, but don't kill yourself over it, because things change. I'm telling you, like, opportunities may change. This is a little sick that I have this thought in my mind. But just today I was watching the news, and it talked about this executive from the Real Housewives. It was this young girl. She died of childbirth, I guess. And I felt so sad for her. It's horrible, right? And then I was just thinking about how precious life is. And I had this thought, morbid, horrible, sorry, but it is a passing thought. I'm like, oh, somebody's going to have to replace her. Like, there's going to be an opportunity for someone. And that's the thing with life. You never know, for good or bad. Things can change. Opportunities can open. The impossible can become possible. And that has been my experience plenty of times where literally, I remember my old boss, I was having a conversation with him and he said, Stephanie, I need you to admit that your growth in these past 2 years has been nothing short of a miracle. Like, I've been at the company for 20 years. I've never in my life seen something like this. And I would have to give it to him. But there was effort behind it. I was at the right time, at the right place, had the right contacts, I made the move. I took action. Had I stayed where I was and continued to pout and, tell myself, oh, you'll get out of this one, and not move and not make, connections, I would have stayed in the same spot. But I took a chance of myself, even though I was emotionally exhausted and I was just really ready to give up. So I'm so glad I didn't, and I just continue to push forward. I don't think that I will be in corporate for the rest of my life. I do see myself as an entrepreneur of some sort. Again, I don't know where I will end up eventually, but I know that whatever that is going to be great, and I'm going to be really successful at it. Just like I believe that I would be in the position that I am now, and I always wanted to give back, and to be in that position, to be able to give back even in the smallest of ways, man, that brings so much fulfillment to myself. To be able to say, oh, I want to go on a trip, and be able to schedule that and do it, like, actually not just schedule it, like book it and go. That to me is winning, right? So just encouragement. You may not feel like you're moving, forward. If that's the case, and write down what's going on. Where are you right now? Where do you want to be? Pen to paper. Start planning. Keep your mind open that things can change. And then when it comes to a house, I'm just going to be straight up and say it. Don't be so quick to feel like you're a failure if you're renting. There's this financial guy, Ramit Sethi. He encourages renting. And honestly, now that I'm a homeowner, in a way I would too. And he talks about the breakdown of the whole math, equity versus not. It really all depends. Like, you can get lucky. Like, for example, me, I've built a lot of equity in my home, but I just so happened to get my house when it was COVID. I got lucky. That's the thing with life. You get lucky breaks. So appreciate those. So I have a lot of equity in my home, but I've put also a lot of money in my home, and it's not where I want it to be. So if I were to sell my house, the equity that I'm gaining is really like, it's just some money back for all the work that I've put in. So yeah, would I be, in some way gaining something? Yes. But also, if I was renting, I wouldn't have to worry about all the stresses that I've had to go through in having to figure out this and that. So it all equals out the same. Don't see renting as a waste of money. See it as a peace of mind. Like, at the very least, you don't have to, shell money out when something big breaks. Especially if you have a young family, you already know it's expensive. It is really nice to be able to call the office and say, hey, come fix this, if they can. I know a lot of rental places are terrible at that, but it is really nice to know that at the end of the day, it's not your responsibility to take care of things. So this is where you can just see, it's a matter of perspective, right? What you have that you may see as a burden, or like, oh, this is not good enough, to someone else, that is all they want. And I remember thinking about that. I was like, Steph, somebody wishes they could even get approved for an apartment, in an apartment like yours. So be grateful, be this. And I just, sometimes I was like, well, it's not done. Be grateful, take it, appreciate it. You will be blessed. If you really have something in your mind, pen to paper, write it down, go get it. But also, don't overstress if things don't work out just right. It's fine. Nobody's gonna die. Life is beautiful. Life is big. And if you don't like where you are right now, change it. You don't like your relationship, change it. Set your boundaries. But think of the bigger picture, right? Like, family is really important. But if you have a toxic family who constantly stresses, takes from you, You know, they all have this generational trauma that is never ending. Cut the cord. You don't need to be around them. Same thing with friends. If a friend, every time you talk to a friend, they're bringing you down, cut the cord. You don't need to be in that friendship. If there's a friend that you feel like you're walking around eggshells every time you're around them, like, you know, you're the next, you know, they're gonna cut you off as soon as you offend them, and you're like, ugh, cut that off. That's bad for your mental health. That's stresses that you don't need. So that's my little car chat for today. I'm still not at the chiropractor. Literally, I'm right around the corner, but it's gonna take me like 20 minutes to get there, which is a shame. This traffic is ridiculous. It's like it took me an hour to get home from work, even though I left at 3. It's taken me an hour to get here, even though I left with plenty of time, like at least half an hour of time. Life. I hope that something I said today you take with you, and don't stress, okay? Everything's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. It all works out. I know it sounds a little cliche, but it's the truth. It all works out. Bye. Have a good one.